When my guest appears on camera, he's going to be triggering a lot of wonderful memories for so many people because he's wearing a very famous set of silks, pink and white stripes and pink sleeves. Unfortunately, he doesn't wear the same coloured cap as his grandfather Wally Wood, but Michael Wood is wearing these wonderful colours here at Club and Eagle today. Well, Michael, good to catch up with you. It's good to see those colours going around again on the feature track here at Club and Eagle. Your grandfather, your uncle, Bruce, we're going to talk about both of them very shortly, wearing those famous set of silks.
That's right, yeah, they've been going a long time. They're probably nearly here today. There's probably not a pair of colours here today that have been around quite as long. Yeah.
They certainly haven't. You wear a white skull cap where your uncle and your famous grandfather Wally had black.
Yeah, they wear a black one, and I followed Dad. Dad had the white one, so I just stuck with the white one, and I never worried about getting it painted or anything. I just stuck with the white. Yeah.
We're going to be talking about Dad as well. Peter, who of course was Bruce's brother and Wally's son. Technically, you're probably a third generation, but I was looking at the Wally Wood family prior to that. And we're going back to the 1800s to Harry Wood, and then his son Aubrey, which was Wally's dad, always involved in harness racing. And Harry made that first move from Marsden Park to Riverston, and virtually the rest is history.
Yeah, well, like I was telling you earlier, you probably know a bit more of the details that I do, but I only sort of know as far back as Riverston and the track there. But yeah, once you get back a bit further, I get a bit lost.
Wally was one of 5 children. Wasn't all that keen on school. In fact, spent more time at the nearby stables than what he did at school.
Yeah, I could believe that because Dad's much the same. He left school and was working horses with his father. So yeah, I could believe that. Yeah.
Well, it certainly comes as no surprise that Wally fell in love with harness racing. As I mentioned, going back to the 1800s, there's always horses involved with the Wood generations, and Wally certainly became a master.
Yeah. I think he was. I think he started as a jockey at one stage, and then he moved over to the harness racing. And yeah, it didn't take too long, and he had a few handy horses, and then it just went on from there in the 60s and 70s. So yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Could have been all so much different. Apparently, he was a very good rugby league player playing for Riverston, and when Parramatta entered the comp, he was graded into the Parramatta second grade team, as it was known in those days, or reserve grade. So he certainly had a bright future as far as rugby league was concerned.
Yeah, I can't tell you too much, but I knew he played for Parramatta. I'm pretty sure he played halfback. I wasn't sure. You mentioned it was the second grade side. I wasn't sure, but yeah, I knew. I've heard stories of him. He was quite a handy football player. Yeah.
Michael, I'm very glad you were very polite and not saying that I probably saw Wally play, so thanks for not mentioning that because I don't go that far back. But talking about those wonderful colours, the horse that comes to mind straight away was a favourite horse of mine in the late 70s into the 80s, Wilberpost.
Yeah, well, he's usually the one that gets mentioned when anyone sort of stops and chats with me. And I know, like I said, I know he won the Derby as a 3-year-old, and just the other day it come up. I think he was in the Miracle Mile in '76. I'm not too sure how he went, but yeah, he's when someone sees the colours, that's the first horse that pops into their head. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. New South Wales Derby winner, Penrith Derby winner. But Grandpa also had Sparkling Bruce, which was highly rated, and a very good trotter by the name of Legal Raider, which won 7 of 8 at one stage. So he had numerous good horses, but Wilberpost, particularly the fact that he was named after Wilberpost, the owner of Mr. Ed in that very famous sitcom back in the 60s.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And the other two, Sparkling Bruce, I've heard him talk about him a little bit. I didn't know he had any trotters, to be honest with you. So that's something I've learned today. They never mention anything about any trotters, but yeah.
Your uncle Bruce had a number of very good horses. One that was always very hard to pronounce, but was very good, very tough, by the name of Darugaby.
That's right. Yeah, it's for the people that don't know, it's a place there just outside of Forbes, is where the name comes from. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's where Grandma was from, Wally's wife, and I think that's where the name got picked up from. Yeah.
Hey, Bruce went on a bit of a farewell tour with him in Victoria. Michael, he went through the Echuca Cup, Bort Cup, Yarra Valley Cup, the Wangaratta Cup, Shepparton Cup, Cobram Cup, the Casey Classic. Those were his last 7 or 8 runs, all in Victoria, all in those feature events, and he went well on a number of occasions.
Yeah, well, Bruce and Carol, they moved down to Victoria. They're just there, not far out of Shepparton, and yeah, towards the end of his career, when he probably wasn't racing as good as he could, but he went round to the smaller country cup meetings, and yeah, he done quite well before he finished his career. Yeah.
I suppose you could say he ended up in more cups than a Tetley tea bag, but I used to remember interviewing Bruce at Harold Park, and it was always a tough name to say.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to try, but I won't. I'll leave it alone. But yeah, I have trouble myself. Yeah.
You made the move to near Bathurst into a property which once housed a very exciting pacer.
Yeah, that'd be Riley Alla. That's Kevin Barrett's horse, and yeah, he's buried out the front of the shed. There's a spot there where he's buried and everything. So yeah, he's still there. Yeah.
You earned a living mainly as a farrier until, like all farriers, I think 99 out of every 100 farriers end up the same way, back issues.
That's right, yeah. When we first moved over there, I give it a crack. I was pretty well shoeing horses and trimming horses nearly 7 days a week. But yeah, the last 2 or 3 years I've give it away. And before that, when we lived back home over near Mudgee, I was just working in the shop in town and working the horses as I could, whatever time I had to work them. Yeah, that's right.
So how many horses do you and Dad Peter have these days?
There's about a dozen there. I'm working 5, and I think Dad's got 6 or 7 in work. So yeah, but between the two of us, it takes a lot of our time up.
Just had your first drive here at Menangle with Fake Mint, who was having his first Menangle experience. How was the outing?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I was happy with the horse. He ran all the way to the line. Yeah, I sort of brought him down here. He gets a bit uncomfortable on the half-mile tracks back round home, and I just wanted to come down just to see what he'd do on the bigger track. Yeah. So you were pleased with the effort? Yeah, I was. Yeah, I sort of, not being here before, I knew that it had a long straight, so I didn't sort of want to do too much early. And that's usually how he races. You look after him earlier, and he'll run home for you. He probably could have, if I could have got out a bit earlier, he probably could have done a bit more. He was still full of running when we hit the line. Yeah. No doubt, Michael. A lot of people watching on through Sky or here at the track, those colours wouldn't really mean a great deal to them, but no doubt there's a number of generations that were thrilled to see those pink and white stripes go around again. Probably one of the most famous set of colours racing at Club Menangle today. Yeah, possibly, but yeah, that's right. There's probably a lot of people here today. They don't recognise the colours. With that's all right, but yeah, like I said earlier, they could very well be the oldest set of colours going around here today. A lot of the other third generation, they sort of got their own colours. They don't use their father's colours or their grandfather's colours. They got their own colours. So yeah. Well, Michael, it's a wonderful tribute to your grandfather and all the family members, Bruce, particularly your grandfather, that you've decided to carry on the family tradition. There should be more of it, but well done to you, and hopefully they'll go around again. Hopefully, yeah. I'm not sure how much longer, but they'll be going around for a couple more years yet, for sure. Yeah. Good to catch up with you, Michael. No worries. Thank you.